Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword. Gene is off tonight, suffering from a jet lag relapse, and so I am doing solo duty for Saturday, June 22nd, 2024. I did do the crossword, otherwise this podcast would be ending at about now, and I found it to be a challenging Saturday crossword, but not hugely cruel. I couldn't get much traction at all in the top left corner, with clues like fermented mixture in Japanese cooking. Again, one of my shortcomings. The answer was miso paste. And one down, set for a campsite. At first I thought that was going to be fire pit. It was the right number of letters, and it ended in IT, which I felt pretty confident about. And then I decided, well, maybe it wasn't a fire pit, maybe it was a cesspit. I guess you need one of those when you're going camping. But it turned out, in fact, to be a mess kit. 3 down, bung EG was stopper. That took me a bit. And 5 down, it's black and white or sometimes red, was a panda. I probably never would have gotten that, except for the crosses. 6 down, historically it corresponded with how much a farmer could plow in one day, and the answer was acre. It was 4 letters. I figured it had to be acre, but this raises all sorts of interesting questions. I mean, depends how many animals you have pulling the plow. Depends on whether or not you have light so you can work at night. I think it would be hard to come up with an exact estimate of acre that way. But obviously the boffins that work on things like that figured out a way to do it, which is good. Next to it, 7 down, alternatives to irons. So I was thinking of something to do with golf. And then I was thinking about irons as being, put them in irons, the shackles that they put people around. Anyways, it turned out that they were referring to irons as in treating of clothing, and the answer was steamers. I did not see that coming. 9 down, book with the story of Purim was Esther. I discovered I did not know how to spell Esther. I went for E-S-T-E-R because I think there's a chemical called an ester, or it's some sort of a scent that's associated with perfume. But this is Esther, E-S-T-H-E-R, which if I look at it, I ought to pronounce as Esther, but will not because convention says do otherwise. So anyways, that whole area was a bit of a black box for me. It took me a while to get much traction there. The top right corner I did better in. Locale named in the Beach Boys Kokomo, that was 10 across, and that was Aruba. That song somehow got burned into my brain, and the word Aruba popped up. I liked that 2 clues beneath that, we had 18 across, Emmy winner Uzo, and that was Aduba. So we had Aruba and we had Aduba. I thought that was excellent. And this crossword's by Hoang Kim Vu, who is clearly a master when it comes to this sort of stuff. 10 down was now, and at first I went for stat, but then I had to change it to ASAP, which is how I got the A's for Aruba and Aduba. Let's see here. Mo, in which the U.S. Constitution was signed, in 19 across. It was 3 letters long. I mean, it's an abbreviation because they had Mo instead of month. And the middle letter was an E, so I thought, well, it's either February, September, or December. I think that's all the possibilities. Anyways, it turned out to be Sep for September. 5 down. Let's see. We already covered 5 down. 11 down was nicely worded. It's tuned for tunes, and the answer was radio. Very well done. 27 down was brilliant. 27 down, trading card enthusiasts. I had it starting with a P, so I thought it was going to be pro something, but it was pen pals. That was great. That P of pen pals, the first P, also began 27 across, go window shopping, perhaps, and that was peer in, which was nice. 29 across, a migraine sufferer might take one for short. So I was thinking of some sort of a medication, but the answer was EEG. Small game hunters, 30 across was terriers. That was a bit of a terror for me. And let's see here. 34 across, and eternity. So it's 4 letters long, and I think I knew it had to end in an S because 7 down, alternatives to irons was plural. So I was thinking it was either going to be ages or eons, and it turned out to be eons, E-O-N-S. 35 across, blank plus the pharmacy brand was Atra. I don't know what pharmacy sells Atra. We have a Walgreens around here and a CVS, possibly one of those two. 36 across was cop, and the answer was fess up. That was nice. Definitely a nice job of misdirection there, Mr. Vu. Let's see, what else did we have in this area? Blank, I'm going to have to apologize in advance for my pronunciation of Latin. Blank urbis condite, date of the founding of Rome. So I had 4 letters. I went for anno, and that turned out amazingly to be correct. Another total stab in the dark, 49 across. It was a lover and his blank, beginning of a song in As You Like It. One of my resolutions after coming back from the UK is to read or watch or do something with all of Shakespeare's plays. I haven't gotten to As You Like It yet, so anyways, the answer turned out to be Lass. 41 down. First country to hold elections using internet voting was Estonia. They just had Estonia in the crossword. It seems to be getting a lot of airplay. I just wonder if Joel Fagliano is planning a trip to Estonia. 40 down. Much anticipated outing was a hot date. That was good. Let's see. In that same general area, boy, I had a lot of trouble with this. 45 down. All blank. Phrase and some non-denominational church names. So I saw church, I saw all, and I thought, oh, it's got to be All Saints. Although I was a little bit worried about, I wasn't sure if all religions have saints in them. Anyways, it turned out to be All Faiths. That made a whole lot more sense. Let's see here. 61 across. Plants used in early genetics experiments. I had to dig way back in the old memory palace to find sweet peas. I had peas. I was thinking it's some sort of a bean or a plant like that. And again, it was sweet peas. I toyed briefly with green peas before going back to sweet peas. Of course, I'm always in favor. I'm generally in favor of green peas. Oh, I'm sorry, that's green peas. Never mind. All right. I think that is probably it for today. Oh, one more. Ballet exercises done at a bar, spelled B-A-R-R-E. And that was FRAPPES, F-R-A-P-P-E-S. And I sort of puzzled about that one for a bit, as I thought that frappe referred to a drink. I'm pretty sure it's something you drink, but apparently it's also a ballet exercise. Maybe you're doing the ballet exercise while enjoying a frappe. And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing frappe right. If it's French, I have a feeling that there would be an accent aigu over that last E. Actually, the one and only E. Let's see here. Think piece. 38 down was synapse. Brilliant. You can see why this worked in as a Saturday crossword. All right. I think we will leave. Oh no, I can't. I cannot leave without discussing 35 down. Creative outlet ? Art store. Yeah. So you can see this is just quintessential, seminal Saturday crossword. Great clues, tough, not cruel. There wasn't anything here that, you didn't have like a large gathering of Spanish terms or a lot of pop culture. And so it was just sort of a good general crossword by Hoang Kim Vu. Again, well done. We typically pick a crossword of the week. I am going to unilaterally, since Jean is not here, declare this to be the Jam Katwa, the Jean and Mike Crossword of the Week Award. It was just the right degree of difficulty. It pushed, but it was still fair. So, Hoang Kim Vu, if you happen to be listening, drop us a line, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com, and we will have some lovely swag as well as your Jam Katwa certificate winging its way towards you in no time. Hope everyone's enjoyed this podcast. It's always better when Jean's here, but alas, she is not. So we, I hope, will be back again with our cutting-edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow. See you then.